Parsnips and Persimmons, adventures in ingredients. Hello and welcome again to Parsnips and Persimmons, adventures in ingredients. I'm your host, Lawrence Rush, and we have not just one, but two ingredients we are going to talk about today. One savory, one sweet. Well, actually, the sweet one can work in savory applications as well. But first, we're going to talk about ramps. Ramps. My very American pronunciation. Ramps. Okay, so ramps. You've probably heard about them in the U.S. Some people know about them. I've seen them in the U.S., usually at farmers markets, not often in supermarkets. They're very seasonal. They're right at the beginning of spring for like barely a month, not even a month. And they are delicious. They also go by the name of wild leek, wild garlic. They are part of the allium family. So they have actually garlic and onion qualities about them. Here are some. Ooh, they're beautiful. And in Germany here, they're called Bärlauch. And they're used a lot more here than in the U.S. People are very aware of them here. But in the U.S., not so much. But I've been using them whenever I've been able to find them, both in the U.S. and here, in so many different ways. They really take the place of garlic, but they also take the place of a green vegetable. So I put them in scrambled eggs. I've put them on sandwiches. You can chop them up raw and mix them with mayonnaise and use that as a spread for a sandwich. You could mix them with cream cheese for an amazing schmear. You can do anything with them. Anything that you do with garlic, pretty much, you can do with these. And actually even more so because of the leaf aspect of them, that they're really kind of a leaf vegetable as well. So soups, garlic soup. If you're going to do like a shrimp pasta with garlic, you can use these instead. Often, these here, they've cut off the bulb and the root stem, probably to keep the roots in the ground so that they'll sprout again. Sometimes you see them with the roots. You can, if you do, cut off the bottom of it, just like a scallion. Cut off the bottom of it, and you can use the whole thing. These have already been cut off, and this is how I see them often more in Germany here. So, yes, ramps, Bärlauch if you're in Germany, and wild leeks, often you'll see that name too. So, we are going to make a pesto out of them. They make an amazing pesto, and you don't actually need garlic because this provides the garlic flavor. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Here, have a look at my mise en place. So we've got our fresh ramps right here. Now, different recipes call for them. They can be used raw or they can be blanched just for like 10 seconds. In boiling water, boiling salted water, blanched, and then drained, put under cold water right away to stop the cooking, and then squeezed out, the water squeezed out of them as much as possible. I think the reason for the blanching is, as you see, they're much darker greens, so the color is more striking, and it'll keep the color better. I kind of thought to myself, well, let's mix them. Let's do some raw here and some blanched over here. And we'll put them in together and we'll get the best of both worlds. We'll get a really strong garlic flavor as well as the good color. I've added some basil, fresh basil here, just to get the herb feeling that we're used to. and cutting the garlic a little bit and giving it an extra level of flavor. We've got some toasted pine nuts here. I just put them in a skillet for a few minutes and got them just, as you see, a few spots of brown. You don't want to burn them, so get them out of that pan as soon as they start getting a few brown spots. We've got some grated Parmigiano. You can also use some Pecorino, a combination, and a little lemon zest, which is going to add a nice little brightness to it. Lemon and garlic together are wonderful. So we're going to just put all these things in the food processor. So come over here, and here's my trusty food processor, which I use a lot. Okay. All right. You can sort of see that. So we're going to put our ramps. I like saying ramps. Fresh and the blanched and the basil. We're just putting all of this in here. And then our pine nuts, Parmigiano, and lemon zest. Just putting it all in there. You don't want to put the olive oil in quite yet. You want to just get this to a paste first. Okay. And there we go. Let's scrape it down. A few of these leaves are trying to escape. You will not escape. There we go. Oh my God, I can smell it already, and the thing is closed. I can still smell it. So get it down to a nice sort of paste like this. And then add, it depends on kind of, oh my God. Oh, that smells good. The consistency you want and how much of everything you've got in here. But you want not too much olive oil, but enough to make it a nice thick sauce. I'm going to scrape down the bowl here. I mean, this is the easiest thing in the world to make, as long as you have a food processor. And I can see it needs a little more olive oil, but it's coming together nicely. I can't tell you how amazing this smells. I'm getting a little hot. Okay, that looks perfect. So you see this here, let me get some on my spatula. So you see this nice thick paste that smells, I can't even tell you how good this smells. Now, you want to taste a little for salt? Yeah, this needs some salt. It's even good without it, but it'll be better with. So get some salt in there. Just mix that up. You don't have to necessarily, you could do it by turning it on or not, it doesn't matter. All right, now let's see how this is. Woo! That's garlicky, but delicious. So this, I mean, wherever you use pesto, you can use this. It's beautiful stuff, ramped pesto. Yeah, that took, what, 5 minutes to make? Less. I'm going to make it with some pasta and some goat cheese, I think. I'm going to put some goat cheese on it, fresh goat cheese. And, but you can, anything you use pesto for, spread it on bread when you make a sandwich, make a pesto mayo. wherever you like your pesto. This is a new version of it that, gosh, I'd say rivals the traditional basil pesto pretty well. So that's, ooh, you got some on my finger, my thumb. That is that. The second thing I'm going to talk about is this little fella. Does anyone know what this is? This is called a loquat. And a loquat is a stone fruit related to the plum. It is not related to a kumquat. It's a different quat. Okay, the kumquat is a citrus fruit. The loquat, which is a little rarer, you don't see them in the markets too often, is a really delicious, wonderful fruit. And I'm gonna cut it open so you can see it. They come from originally China, but there are trees in lots of Mediterranean, U.S. climates. You don't need to peel it. Whoop, the seeds, 2 seeds. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 1. Don't eat the seeds. Those are not edible. The rest of it is edible. The skin is fine. It looks sort of like a little apricot kind of thing, but I like these actually more than apricots. I'm not a big apricot fan personally. You want to peel out this sort of membrane under the seeds so that it's nice and clean, and then you just eat it. It's excuse me. It's talking and eating at the same time. It's very juicy. It's got like it's hard to describe. It's sweet, but has a little tang. Kind of like a cross between maybe a cherry and an apricot. So here's the other half. I'll eat later. Now, what can you do with these? All kinds of things. They're delicious raw in a fruit salad, however you want to do that. And I've made some loquat preserves. They're delicious. Just loquats, sugar, a little cardamom, and a little lemon juice. Boiled until it's nice and thick. And it's delicious. And you can use them in smoothies, fruit salads, salsa, like you would use pineapple in a salsa. You can also bake with them. They work in a cake or pie or cobbler. I mean, you could do anything. Ice creams, as a cheesecake topping, if you cook them down and use that as a cheesecake topping. All kinds of things. Really, anything you use, let's say an apricot for, you can use a loquat for. When you're buying them, they don't have to be very soft. All right? Just like maybe like an avocado, giving just a little bit, not rock hard. But they don't need to be as soft as a peach or certain other fruits. They're still juicy and sweet, even when they're a little on the harder side. One thing a little confusing here in Germany about them is they're called Mispeln. And another fruit, the medlar, is also called Mispeln here. So I'm a little confused. Medlar are not related at all to loquats. They're from the apple and rose world, and they're very rare here anyway, or in lots of places. They're a little more common in England, but you rarely ever see them for sale anywhere here. But they're not related, I don't believe, to the loquat in any way. It's not a stone fruit. So I'm curious why they're both called Mispeln, why they have the same name in German. So if anybody knows the reason for that, please let me know. Anyway, so I hope you find some loquats and use them. Buy them, eat them, just plain, however you want to eat them and use them. And ramps, the same thing, okay? Use them in all kinds of things that you eat pretty regularly, probably. Sandwiches, eggs, all of those things. And I'm going to go make my pasta with some pesto now. All righty. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Parsnips and persimmons, adventures in ingredients.